Why isn't the safety car an F1 car? With F1 receiving a truckload of new fans over the last few years, I've seen this question flying around that even I had to stop for a second and go, yeah, but why isn't it an F1 car? Well, wonder no more. When safety cars were first introduced at the 1973 Canadian Grand Prix, they didn't exactly get the best reception when the Porsche 914 cruised out onto the circuit, lost track of the leader, and basically ended up ruining the entire race, after the winner was decided 3 hours after the cars crossed the finish line. However, since then, safety cars have come a long way. We've had Lambos, Porsche 911s, and even a Fiat Tempra, which wins the award for the world's ugliest safety car. Yes, they may ruin the odd race, but one thing they do very well is keep drivers safe. Now, the question of the safety car being an F1 car mainly stems from every time we hear a team radio message from the leader, usually saying, "Oh my god, why won't the safety car speed up?" Whilst it would be an awesome spectacle to see Bernd Maylander, who is F1's #1 safety car driver, whipping round Monaco, leading the field in his very own 2022 F1 car, sadly it's not exactly very practical, and it's not exactly very safe either, which kind of defeats the purpose. The Aston Martin and Mercedes safety car can absolutely go the speed the F1 drivers desire for them to go, but the driver is given strict instructions on the average speeds he must achieve in each sector in order to keep the drivers behind safe from any danger on track, sort of like the virtual safety car. Right, let's take a look at the safety car beasts for this season, shall we? This year's safety car is either an Aston Martin Vantage F1 Edition or a Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, both of which are incredibly impressive cars. They have pretty much every single safety feature under the sun. This includes timing, viewing screens, a digital rearview mirror, a siren, and even a custom-made light box so it can be seen in pretty much any condition. This all kind of points towards not being able to do it in an F1 car, doesn't it? Not only do you have the driver in a safety car, but you also have the passenger too, playing as much of a crucial role alongside, directly communicating all the information the FIA are sending them and keeping the driver up to date at all times as to what is going on around the circuit and what the FIA require the safety car to do. Now just imagine trying to fit all that stuff into a lightweight 2022 F1 car. Bit of a squeeze, right? But let's imagine for a second that by some miracle, F1 somehow cram all that gear into a two-seater F1 car. Our imaginations are being stretched at this point, I know. Well, sadly, there is another hurdle to this F1 safety car fever dream, and that's cost. Aston Martin, who provide for half of the races, split with Mercedes, supply 3 safety cars for F1 to use throughout the year. With 2 of them at each Grand Prix, this cuts down a little bit of the cost of shipping the car from race to race and reduces the amount of mileage on the engine and the tyres. Now, F1 isn't cheap by any means, but this system is far less expensive than it would be to run an F1 safety car. First off, there are the basic costs. A base Aston Martin F1 edition costs upwards of £142,000, and a base Mercedes AMG GT Black Series costs upwards of £260,000. F1 cars we know by now cost millions to build. But not only this, they cost an absolute truckload to run too. I'm talking tens of thousands of pounds to do a single lap. Obviously, the FIA wouldn't be coming to races with game-changing new upgrades that are ready to smoke Red Bull and Ferrari, but the general upkeep and shipping of the cars would also cost a small fortune. The FIA would also have to employ additional mechanics to look after the engine, change tyres, which cost thousands to replace, and make small repairs. Are you starting to get the hint that the safety car being an F1 car is a cool but terrible idea? It's fun to think about, don't get me wrong, but an F1 safety car would struggle with a lot of the same problems the actual racing drivers would be experiencing. Cold tyres, an overheating engine, all while having to maintain the same speed as what they would be doing in the normal safety car anyway. There is literally no benefit for it to be an F1 car. And finally, another reason the safety car isn't an F1 car is sponsorships. Aston Martin and Mercedes pay big money in order to have what is essentially a front and centre advertising slot for their car whenever there is a hazard on track. Unfortunately, you can't buy F1 cars for road usage as of yet, so there's no need for advertising for a car you can't really purchase. There you have it, a fun look into why the safety car isn't an F1 car. In an alternate reality, it'd be pretty cool to see, but so impractical at the same time. Would you like to see it? Let us know in the comment section below.